ordering the perfect Italian pizza and getting the toppings you actually wanted, complimenting a stranger on their outfit on the metro and getting the address to their favorite Parisian boutique, or hopping in a New York cab and not ending up on the opposite side of town from where you're going. None of those things would be possible if you don't work on honing your speaking skills in the foreign language you're learning, but all of them are within reach, even for beginners. Welcome to our beginner's guide to improving your spoken language skills. I'm Abby. If you're interested in working on other skills, or if you're past the beginner stage, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on your notifications to be the first to know about our newest videos. Now, let's get into it. If you watched my last video in this series, a lot of the same tips I gave you for working on your listening skills as a beginner also apply to speaking, like learning full sentences based on topics that you'll definitely need to talk about, instead of just random, isolated words. Plus, this way you don't really have to know how grammar works just yet to be able to use the language you're learning correctly. Grammar is a big turnoff for lots of learners, so if you can avoid it for as long as possible, do it. Having basic, repetitive conversations based on practical situations that you're likely to encounter, like the ones I mentioned at the beginning of the video, is a good way to prepare yourself for the real thing. You can even listen to dialogues, like the ones in your Mozzolingua app, and try to play one of the roles. As a beginner, if you can see your speaking skills in action right away and feel like you can actually communicate, you'll be much more likely to stick with it, and much less likely to develop a complex about speaking, which is a nice segue into my next tip. Perfectionism can be a good quality to have for lots of things, but language learning is not one of them. Beginners in particular need to let go of any perfectionist tendencies, at least while practicing their speaking skills, because it can keep them from improving as quickly as they otherwise could. Get comfortable with the idea that mistakes are actually your friends, your allies, when it comes to learning to speak a language. Sure, being corrected doesn't always feel great, but don't take it personally. Yeah. You will likely make the mistake again, but next time you'll probably be able to catch it and correct it yourself, and eventually you'll stop making it and start making new mistakes. If you're not a perfectionist, but are shy or afraid that you might not be able to express yourself how you want to, there are solutions for that too, such as preparing yourself beforehand. Write out scripts and practice in the mirror, a technique called self-talk or self-conversation. There's only so much prep work you can do before you need to get your boots on the ground and start digging into real-life practice, no matter how intimidating it may seem. However, if you are shy or don't think you'll have enough to talk about with a conversation partner since you're just getting started, we suggest seeking out a one-on-one tutor. Tutors are used to working with language learners, so they'll be very understanding when you inevitably make those mistakes, and they can correct your vocabulary and pronunciation on the spot. That will keep your mistakes from becoming ingrained, like they might if you only practice with yourself and never get any feedback. These days, it's super easy to find tutors online or via mobile apps, so you don't ever have to leave your house to practice. Some of you might be hesitant to pay for someone's services, but actually making a small financial commitment is a great way to keep yourself motivated to practice, even when you don't really feel like it, and on track toward your goals, since you won't want to waste your money or the tutor's time. We put links to our favorite services and apps in the video description so you can find an affordable tutor who's right for you. Finally, don't forget pronunciation. As I've said before, it's easier to get it right the first time than to go back and fix it after it has already become a bad habit. Even if you think you know how something is pronounced, don't be tempted to skip the pronunciation step when you learn a new flashcard. Listen carefully to the native speaker's recording. Try it out for yourself, and then compare. Do your research and focus on 3 or 4 sounds in your target language that speakers of your native language tend to struggle with. By making sure you get those right, you'll really stand out from your peers. Shadowing is one accent training technique that I made a video about not too long ago, and that even beginners can do. So check that video out next if you're interested. Another way to practice your pronunciation on your own is to test it out on a virtual assistant like Siri or Alexa. Set your device to the language you're learning and try out some of the sentences you've been practicing. If it doesn't understand you, that might be an indication that you need to keep practicing certain sounds. You can also use the voice to text or voice typing feature to double check that the machine understood what you meant to say. So those are my 4 best tips for improving your speaking skills as a beginner. Number 1, learn common set phrases. 2, embrace mistakes. 3, get a tutor for conversation lessons. And 4, don't forget about pronunciation. That's all I have for you today. I hope you'll take some of these tips and techniques out into the real world and that your speaking skills will reap the benefits. Happy learning, and I'll see you again soon.
If you learned something new from this video, give it a thumbs up. Then, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications. Have a look around our channel for more hacks and tips. And if you're watching on another social media platform, like or follow our page. See you next time.